Hi everyone. Today's lesson we're going to be working on irregular/compound figures, and all that means is we're taking shapes and they're known shapes like a rectangle or a triangle, and we're putting them together to form something different. For instance, if we're looking at the first shape here, if I draw a line through here, now I have two rectangles, so it's something familiar to us. Likewise, over on this side, if I draw a line straight across here, now I see a triangle on top of a square rather than just one whole shape. We're going to work on finding perimeter and area of shapes like this. So first we're going to focus on perimeter. So just a reminder, perimeter is taking all of the sides and adding them together. So if I'm going through and I'm counting up all the sides, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 sides. That means if I have 8 sides, then I should be adding 8 numbers together. So I see 10, I see a 12, a 3, a 3, a 4, and a 2. So when I count up those sides, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 6 numbers to add together and I need 8. So let's add up what we have to start. So if we're adding all of this together, 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, and then add 2 to that, we've got 14. So right now, if I wanted to throw out a perimeter, it'd be 34. However, that's not the perimeter of this entire shape because we need to find the missing sides. So when I'm looking through here, the sides that I'm missing are this one here and this one here. Those are the only 2 sides I do not know a length to. So to figure that out, we're going to focus on what we know total. So let's look at this top missing one first. If I'm looking at the bottom of this shape, I know that total length across is 12, which means from here to here, that total length should be 12 if we're making a rectangle. Right now, I know that this length is 4. And I know this length is 3, and 4 plus 3 is 7. What I'm looking for is what do I add to 7 to get to 12. So to figure that out, we're going to take 12 minus 7. So that's going to equal 5. So 5 is one of my missing side lengths. We're going to do the exact same thing using this 10. So if I know this total length is 10, and I know from this point to this point, that should equal 10. And right now I know that this one is 3, and I know this one here is 2. I'm looking for what goes here to make that equal to 10. So 2 plus 3 is 5. What do I add to 5 to get to 10? So we've got 10 minus 5, which also equals 5. So that missing side length is also 5. So 5 plus 5 equals 10. We're going to add 10 to this 34. So my final perimeter is going to be 44. And when we label it, we're going to say just meters because we're just talking about a distance. So we're looking for the distance around the shape. That would be 44 meters. When we're looking for area, this is where we're going to start breaking the shape down into shapes that we're familiar with. So we could do it 2 different ways. So the first way is if I'm looking at this shape, some of you might see it broken down this way, where it looks like a trapezoid and a rectangle. So to find the area of this rectangle, we've got 4 by 2. 4 by 2 is 8. So now we have to figure out what the length of this trapezoid is. So the nice thing is we know that it's got a right angle right there. But with a trapezoid, I need to do half of the base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So if I'm looking at the trapezoid, I've got base 1 would be 8. Base 2 is this blue distance, which is 2. And my height I can get from taking 10, and I need to take 4 off of that because this length here is 4. So 10 minus 4 is 6, so my height is 6. So half of 10 is 5, so 8 plus 2 is 10, half of 10 is 5. 5 times 6 equals 30. And we would want to take that other area, which was 8, and add it to there to get 38. So that's one way we could do it. Some of you might have said, I never saw that trapezoid there. So would I get the same thing if I were to say, well, I see a rectangle with a triangle? So let's try it. If we're looking at the rectangle first, I've got a base of 10 and a height of 2. So 10 times 2 is 20. So we're okay so far because it's not over 38. And now we're going to look at this triangle. So to find the area of the triangle, we have to do 1/2 base times height. So if we're looking at the base, so we're looking for what this distance is here. I know the entire distance is 10. I already have 4. So what do I add to 4 to get to 10? 4 plus 6 equals 10. So there's my base. So we've got 1/2, 6. My height, I'm going to do the exact same way. So I know this entire length is 8. I know this is 2. What do I add to 2 to get to 8? That is also 6. So we've got half of 6, which is 3, times 6 is 18. So the area of the triangle is 18. If I take 18 plus 20, I will also get 38. So as you can see, the areas are the same no matter which way I do it. The only other thing we need to make sure we do is label our answer. So we started with meters, and area you always have to write squared to represent that it's area. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.